Jonesboro, Arkansas, 12-year-old Andrew Golden and 14-year-old Mitchell Johnson have been found guilty of killing 4 classmates and their teacher, Shannon Wright, in a shooting spree in March. The teacher died as she stepped in front of a little girl, shielding her from the bullets. And joining us this morning is her husband, Mitchell Wright. And Mitchell, it's nice to see you. I can't imagine the feelings you must be experiencing this morning.
A lot of emotions.
You have yielded to the justice system. Was it justice?
Not in this situation. Even the judge, his comments were, the punishment does not fit the crime.
What should the sentences be?
Well, in my opinion, the sentence needs to be life in prison without any chance of parole. It's a shame that in the United States, supposed to be the greatest country in the world, someone can kill 4 girls and 1 teacher, wound 10 others, ruin their lives, and can walk free within 4 to 5 years. That's not justice.
The court, after it was over, and said, we didn't need to do it. We thought we'd fire over their heads. What was your reaction when you heard that boy speak?
He shot 5 times with a .30-06. He said that they were shooting over their heads. Well, I find that hard to believe. He shot 5 times. He hit my wife 2 times. He hit 3 girls. He was 5 for 5 with the telescope, with the lens. I find that hard to believe.
Andrew Golden's lawyer wanted to plead insanity. The judge would not allow it.
Yes.
But what was your reaction? He ended up pleading not guilty. What was your reaction when you found out that he was going to plead not guilty, but even going for insanity? Well,
it didn't surprise me any, knowing that this young man has been in, rephrase this, any time that he has ever been in trouble in school, or seems like outside of school, from things I've been told, his parents have always stepped in and always says the system's fault, not his fault. And it was just a continuation of that. Not my boy. It's the system. Something's wrong with him. And that was one point I wanted to make at the end of yesterday when I was speaking to the boys. And I knew that his lawyer would cut me off again. And the point was, at least the Johnson boy is taking some form of responsibility. He's not going to fight it. He's going to take he's going to take his 4 years and he's going to go on. I went and told his parents, why don't you let your own son, for one time, take responsibility? He hid on a hill and opened fire and executed these people and wounded others. For one time, let him take responsibility for what he did and quit trying to cover for him. In Jonesboro,
I'm sure it is a day that you can't escape every single day. What has your life been like since?
Nothing has been the same. Everything's been changed. Our whole entire schedule has been changed. My son, we have no routine, and I have to try to get a routine for him. My work has been changed. I've probably worked like 3 to 4 weeks, a grand total of since this has happened. You're just constantly trying to adjust. It's an emotional roller coaster. You have good days, you have bad days. You try to get through it. At one point you think that maybe you're not going to. Then you realize you don't have no choice. And I'm at a point right now where I can see some light. Life does go on. And we're going to pick up with our lives and we're going to go on.
What does Zane know?
Zane knows that his mother was hurt at school. He knows that he pieced a lot of this together himself. He knows that there were 2 boys that had guns and that his mother was shot. He knows that she was in such bad shape that God took her to heaven to take care of her so she wouldn't hurt.
Looking back on the memory of the dance we shared beneath the stars above. For a moment, all the world was right, and how could I have known that you'd ever say goodbye. And I'm glad I didn't know the way it all would end, the way it all would go.
Mitchell Johnson had a bad home life, where his father was verbally abusive. He was raped when he was 8, and was certain that if he told anyone, he would be killed. When attending Westside, he developed 2 personalities. He was the nice, respectful boy to his teachers, but was an angry bully to his fellow students. In the last year before the shooting, he became more and more disruptive, getting sent to ISS 3 times before the shooting in March. Mitchell made a death list of people who made him mad, and once showed it to a close friend. After the shooting, Mitchell was always arrogant when questioned. He also seemed to really enjoy his notorious status, especially when it was aired on television. Mitchell would work the crowd, being in tears and acting remorseful in front of spectators and judges, but was always stone cold and unmoved behind bars and to authority officials.
Andrew Golden came from a home of gun enthusiasts, and by the age of 11 was a skilled marksman. As a reputation grew, neighbors began calling him a little demon child, and didn't want him playing with their kids after witnessing him shoot a neighborhood cat. Andrew always seemed to get things his way, and whenever he got into trouble at school, his parents always took up for him, often blaming the system. In the year before the shooting, Andrew got into an incident in which he alerted friends he was going to hurt kids at school. When this was relayed to administration, however, nothing was ever done about it. After the shooting, Andrew withdrew, not speaking and showing any signs of remorse. It was always speculated that Andrew was the one who came up with the shooting, but it could never be confirmed.
Back everybody. You guys. What we're going to do is run the building right now and make sure it's okay. I don't know, man. Which truck are we going to? Tell us. I don't care. Yeah. Just get ready. I'm trying to find which one we get to. I don't care. Where's
It looks like at this time that somebody pulled a fire alarm, and back behind the school in the wood lines there was a couple of boys up there in camouflage, a couple of white males in camouflage clothing, real young boys. When the fire alarm went off, the kids went outside, and what it looks like right now, when they started shooting at the children, 13 children got hit. I know one looks like he's dead, but 10-7, okay?
On March 24th, 1998, the Westside Middle School campus was much like a battleground. The shooting that occurred here claimed 5 lives and wounded 10 others.
The playground has changed a lot over the years. Park benches and basketball goals now litter the grounds.
The woods back off to the right of the school have now been cut down, leaving little of the original scenery. On March 24th, 1998, Johnson and Golden decided to skip school and do the shooting. They then stole Johnson's mom's van and, packing it full of camping supplies, made their way to Golden's grandfather's house. It was there that they stole the rifles, and with the guns and supplies, both camouflaged boys made their way toward Westside. The wooden fence behind me now stands where the tree line once was that backed up
to the wood's edge where Johnson and Golden came through after parking their van on the other side. Once Johnson and Golden set up their ambush at the tree line, Andrew got up, ran to the front of the school, came in the entrance, and made his way to the fire alarm.
After Golden entered the school, he made his way to the fire alarm, which used to lie behind these double doors right here. Then after pulling the fire alarm, he made his way back to Johnson at the tree line.
After the fire alarm was pulled, Johnson and Golden waited for the faculty and students to come out and line up for the drill. Once the student and faculty had lined up after coming out of the doors for the drill, Johnson and Golden started firing. Once the shot started, they didn't stop. After the initial shock of seeing fellow students fall, the students and faculty started to run back to the doors at which they'd come from.
After students and teachers had found the door locked, they faced a very quick decision of whether or not to stay there and wait out the shooting or to seek refuge somewhere else. Authorities were notified very quickly and rushed to the scene. Once here, they sent a team out into the woods where they found Golden and Johnson and took them into custody with little resistance.
You apprehended the suspect?
No, two of the CID investigators apprehended the suspect. I was there just moments behind.
What did you see?
We had two subjects on the ground.
Are they still armed or?
They were in the process. We went through the process of de-arming the suspects.
Any resistance when they were initially arrested?
No.
Were they going toward the van?
Not really.
Okay.
Where was the van at from the school? The van was kind of northeast of the school.
Does an 11-year-old have criminal intent?
Certainly an 11-year-old can have criminal intent, yes.
We look for these boys to be charged with adults.
We have limitations under Arkansas law that limit us in what we can do based on the ages of the two suspects. That's one thing right now is we're trying to ascertain exactly what their ages are so we know exactly what route we can take and what options are available to us.
What the limitations are?
The limitations are that, and we're researching this at the present time, but 14, under the age of 14, juvenile court has exclusive jurisdiction. And we're seeing if there might not be some option available that would allow us to go to circuit court. But generally the rule is that under the age of 14, juvenile court exercises exclusive jurisdiction over those individuals.